interactive show all about you asking questions of Philadelphia Mayor Michael Nutter. Choose the topic, choose your questions, we'll get him to answer. Here's our social media team. They're fielding all of your questions via Facebook, via Twitter, or send us an email. And we have a live studio audience eager to hear from the mayor. A unique one-on-one opportunity to get answers they want about their city. And here he is, the mayor of Philadelphia. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Tracy. This is fantastic.
You just raced down here from Education Nation in New York.
Up in New York, yeah. It was a great day up there. I was on a wonderful panel with Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake and Michael Brown from City Year, Marguerite from America's Promise. It was a great panel.
And you're excited to take all these questions?
Oh,
you're
absolutely.
in the hot seat because they're coming at you from all angles.
Yeah, well, your seat looks pretty hot, too.
Yeah. No, I'm just passing along the questions. You got to field the questions.
I understand.
Here's how you can join the conversation with Mayor Michael Nutter. On Twitter, #TweetNutter, Facebook.com/NBC Philadelphia, or you can email us at askthemayor@NBCPhiladelphia.com. But first, NBC10's Luann Kahn with a day in the life of a big city mayor who is constantly connected.
Hands.
What you up to?
Talks to little kids.
All affected by this fire?
Listens to complaints from citizens. But not every mayor has embraced Twitter and social media like this one.
It is very direct. It's instantaneous. It's one of our recycling trucks.
We go by this muraled city vehicle. Boom! He tweets, just past one of our beautiful recycling trucks.
I got a little bit. There you go.
The mayor is at a groundbreaking. He makes a speech and covers it too with a picture.
Not only that,
No, it's a tweet.
what has happened in the district.
16,000 people follow the mayor on Twitter, including media folks like me, as he tells the world in a tweet. Because if you want to know what the mayor is doing 24/7, his Twitter is kind of an open door to his office.
It's what we want.
And it'd be a mistake to dismiss this as frivolous chat. The mayor's 140-character tweet has serious power. When dozens were left homeless by this major apartment fire in West Philly, the mayor tweeted. A good Samaritan tweeted back.
And wanted to help, had some things to offer that, quite frankly, we're actually looking for. That was a moment that, I mean, it's wow.
Consider the events of Hurricane Irene.
Where is there flooding? There are, roads closed. All of that kind of information, again, going out to a very broad network instantaneously throughout the course of the day.
And the mayor says when this completely false report about fines for texting and walking was spreading around the world, the only way he finally put a stop to it was with a tweet. What did you say in the tweet?
This is not true. This is 1422.
And if the mayor sees something that needs to be fixed,
I mean, basically, this needs to be torn down.
his
right?
commissioners will get a direct message and a picture.
Send that to Fran Burns. Picture tells the story.
Can anyone talk to you on Twitter?
Well, all kinds of traffic comes in. Literally, it would be impossible for me to respond.
While he can't respond to every tweet, the mayor says Twitter is a way you can reach out and touch him.
Line drive.
Almost anywhere.
It was like between innings or between batters or something. And somebody said something saying, Mayor Nutter, you're at the baseball game. Pay attention.
The mayor says he's paying attention. Just tweet him. Luann Kahn, NBC10 News.
And now is your chance. Here's how you can join the conversation with Mayor Michael Nutter. On Twitter, #TweetNutter, or Facebook.com/NBC Philadelphia, or email us at askthemayor@NBCPhiladelphia.com. I follow you. Luann's right. You tweet a lot.
I tweet a little bit, and I follow you guys as well. So, if people really want to join that conversation and see what's going on beyond what you might see in a press release or an announcement or anything that is episodically on the news at 12 o'clock or 5 or 6, just go to @Michael_Nutter. And you'll get some of that information and really see what's happening throughout the course of the day in the city of Philadelphia, the very public stuff, and then just things that I see or observe that are going on out there. People find it pretty interesting, and actually it is newsworthy.
Excellent. So throughout this entire hour, along the bottom of your screen, you'll see all the ways to talk to us and send your questions. Let's get right to them because we have a lot of questions for you. John emailed about property taxes. I voted for you. I have supported you for years. Why is it that every year you have been mayor, my property taxes have gone up? I'm on a fixed, very low income and am in danger of losing my home.
Yeah. Well, first, I don't want to, what is it, John?
John.
Okay. I don't want to argue with John. Unfortunately, it has been the last 2 years. We didn't do anything with property taxes in my first year. All of that is tied to the worst recession since the Great Depression, literally. And it's the only reason that we've had to do that, because we had a dramatic reduction in our tax revenues. The flip side of that is, if we did not take those actions and take other actions very swiftly, we would have had massive layoffs of public employees all across the board: police, fire, recreation, L&I, commerce, you name a department, every department would have been affected by that. So we chose not to do what some other cities have done. We have reduced the size of the workforce, but not by massive layoffs. Our citizens work hard, they most pay their taxes, and they need the basic services that we provide. It's also helped to strengthen our fiscal bottom line. I regret that we've had to do that, but sometimes in this business you have to take actions that you don't want to take in order to save the city.
This next one is also a property tax question, but it talks a little bit about the tax abatement program, too. It's from the Summerdale section. It's LJ asking, why is the city allowed to raise taxes in working-class neighborhoods before ending the tax abatements for the center city elites and the wealthier residents in the far northeast? And again, that's LJ in Summerdale.
Sure. Well, first, whenever we have a tax increase, it is across the board. By state constitution, we have a uniformity clause. If they're going up, they do unfortunately go up for everyone. The property tax abatement program, on the other hand, has helped us to stabilize much of our tax base. These are properties that had been paying virtually no taxes at all, no property on them. It's eligible for everyone, not just in Center City, but all across the city of Philadelphia. If you build a new house in the city, if you build a new building in the city, you can get a 10-year tax abatement. But in year 11, someone is going to pay a very, very high tax bill. Many of those properties have come online since the program started in late 98 and 99. So in 08 and 09, all of those properties started coming online. We're getting tax revenues as a result of that 10-year tax abatement, and we'll continue to get them virtually forever.
Revenues will continue to come in.
Yes.
All right, now let's talk about jobs. Jasmine emailed this. She writes, I want to ask the mayor if he thinks only growing minimum wage, no benefit jobs is what's going to bring this city back to its former glory.
No.
Talk about jobs. How are we going to do it?
Not possible. I mean, in some situations, obviously, a person would think that a job beats no job every day. And in many instances, that is certainly true. But, I mean, the way the question is phrased, no, that's not what's going to bring our city back. Now, earlier today, before going to New York, I had the great pleasure of turning dirt on the construction of Teva Pharmaceuticals distribution warehouse. That's their warehouse for North America. Located here in Philadelphia, nearly 3,000 construction jobs will be created as a result of that project. They'll open in 2013. They have 200 employees. They expect to have upwards of another 200 new employees at that facility. We've made many, many announcements. I think it was yesterday, a new hotel at 12th and Filbert. 80% of the folks who work in hotels in Philadelphia live in neighborhoods in this city. They are city residents. And so there are growing opportunities for jobs. But that's why we focus so much, Tracy, on education. When we educate the citizens of the city, and especially our young people, but also adults who in many instances need to go back to school, that's what's going to help them in their job, move up or get a different job and lift themselves and families out of a low-income circumstance. So that's why we focus so much on education. If we educate our public, people will do much better and employers will want to be here.
And you understand, though, continuing concern about the jobs. Let's see. William says, the biggest problem is getting your ear. We can be the solution to our problems, but those of us who have ideas need access to you that doesn't have to involve having to stalk you through your itinerary and be disruptive at other planned events. So I guess William wants to know, although you just gave your Twitter handle, how to get your ear, because I know some of these questions, and we'll go through them, that I've already seen are really people who are saying, here's a creative idea. What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, obviously, whether it's through Twitter, or there are other more traditional means of getting in touch. Certainly, call the mayor's office, send me a letter. We have an email system, but also we started actually not too long ago a new system of just having meetings in an open space with citizens, just people who call and set up those kinds of meetings. You want to share an idea or spend a little time. I mean, we kind of constrain the time. The schedule's kind of crazy,
right.
But it's another way of being in touch. But I mean, the phone, fax, email, and letters still do work as well.
Okay. Jim is emailing this. Mayor Nutter, will the new school superintendent receive the same outrageous salary that Dr. Arlene Ackerman got? There's been a lot of questions for obvious reasons about this. This is actually from Jim in media, because we've said, look, we're all in this together, not just the city.
Yeah. Well, I guess a couple things, just by way of background. First, the school superintendent is actually hired by the School Reform Commission. The state took over schools 10 years ago and established the School Reform Commission, also called the SRC. 3 members appointed by the governor, 2 members appointed by myself as mayor. We don't know who the next school superintendent is going to be. We expect that there will be a full search here, locally, regionally, and possibly across the country. I am sensitive to the salaries that we pay high-ranking people in whatever government they may be, supported by taxpayers' dollars. And I can assure you that we will scrutinize very, very heavily whatever the next superintendent's salary should be, commensurate with other salaries of high-ranking people in government agencies.
The School Reform Commission, it's not complete right now, right?
You mean fully populated?
Correct.
No, it's not. They have a couple vacancies. One was created a while back. Governor Corbett has nominated Pedro Ramos for that particular seat. The governor's appointees have to be confirmed by the state Senate. And so the Senate comes back into session, I think, within the next week or so, and they're hopeful to take up his nomination. I have a vacancy on the mayoral side, and I'm looking at a number of individuals and hopefully plan to fill that seat very shortly. I announced one last week, Dr. Wendell Pritchett.
Okay, great. Now let's head over to NBC10's Vince Latanzio. He has been taking the pulse of what people are saying because he's in our social media center, seeing what everybody's talking about. What's trending?
Well, there's a lot of trending topics, and the biggest one right now is the quality of life in the city. It's 19% of you at home want to know about quality of life. It's followed by crime and safety at 15% and taxes at 13%. So I want to ask you, Mayor, one question about the quality of life. This is from Bitter About Litter, and she says, I just moved over the bridge from New Jersey. I own a business here, and I'm looking to buy a home, but everywhere I look, there is trash. Can't you clean up this city? It's the worst. I love this city and would help.
Well, we've tried on numerous occasions, and I believe a cleaner city is a safer city and is a more hospitable city. We'd like Philadelphians to be less trashy. Quite frankly, about the city. We're not the ones putting it out there. It's citizens or others. Unfortunately, from time to time, I literally see people throw stuff out their window. I did somewhat famously actually stop someone last Thanksgiving, literally in my vehicle, pulled them over, and they summarily got out of their car and went back and retrieved what they left out. I do not recommend that to other people.
Do not try this at home.
No, don't try this at home. I have a couple folks who travel with me. But more than that, we have the annual Spring Philly Cleanup Day. We've broken every possible record doing that. The Philadelphia More Beautiful Committee has weekly, I'm sorry, let me take that back, not weekly, but regular neighborhood cleanups. We have a block captain network of about 6,000 block captains throughout the city. But if Philadelphians want their city to be clean, we can partner with you, but I'm not your mom, I'm not your dad, I'm not going to clean up after you. If you want a clean neighborhood, partner with us in the city. We'll help you. You put it in a pile, we'll come and pick it up. We emphasize recycling. We want a cleaner city, and there's no reason that some of our neighborhoods should be as filthy as they are. So now, treat the city like you would your house, and hopefully you're not throwing trash down in your living room.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Vince. We'll get back to you, and we have a lot more questions coming in. This show is coming to you live on NBC10 until 7:30, and then we're on until 8 on NBC Philadelphia Nonstop and live streaming on NBCPhiladelphia.com. And here's how you can join tonight's conversation. On Twitter, #TweetNutter, Facebook.com/NBC Philadelphia, or email us at AskTheMayor@NBCPhiladelphia.com.